Okay, so this video is about writing to the debug log, the WordPress debug log programmatically. I have a situation here that I am trying to test out this hook, publish post, and when I set it up, adding an action, calling this function, and providing it with two parameters, post ID and post, according to the documentation of this publish post hook. Now, let's not focus too much on this functionality of this hook right now, because I will create another video detailing all that in much more elaborate way. But for now, let's just try to see what makes it tick. And when I set it up with a to echo statement here, by the way, the whole thing is sitting inside the functions folder in the WordPress backend, inside WP content, theme, and my theme name, and this functions file, right? So I'm just doing it directly just for the sake of this video. And what I'm trying to do is, as soon as I publish a post, I want this title and the post ID showing up somewhere so that it tells me it's working. So let's go to the backend. All right, so here I have a bunch of posts that are in draft mode. By the way, it's instead of posts, it's saying lists here, because for the sake of my project, I had to update these names, but these are actually regular posts, just so that you know. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and go to quick edit and try to convert this into publish. And as soon as I do, it should kick in, right? So when I do, it gets published, but nothing happens. Even when I go to, let's say, the front end, I refresh, I see no effect taking place. Let's do another one. I'm not going to even refresh this. I'm going to go ahead and quickly change publish and go straight to the front end to see. I'm going to refresh it once. But echo does not take place. It does nothing. All right. So at this point, I'm going to need the help of the debug log. So to set that up, let's go to the MAM Pro. This is my development backend, and this is where the project is. Just to make sure, you see right here, selfless.v9-v9. So this is the project. And it is inside this structure here, this hard drive, this website folder, and selfless-v9. This is where it's located. And one good thing about MAM Pro is that once I select my project, I can hit editor here, and it immediately takes me to that project backend where all the WordPress files are right here. And from here, I'm going to go look for the wp.config right here, and then go below, and this is how I set that up right here. Define WP debug to true and define WP debug log to true. So this one enables the debug, and this one creates a debug log file, right? So once you set that up, you just refresh a few times, and what it does, let's go to the back end. So right here, this is where the project folder is. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and do a cd here, space, and I'm going to drag this up here and hit enter. I'm going to go exactly to the project folder, and then go inside WP content and do an ls. And as you can see, this is where the debug log is. No longer need this. All right, so now that we found our debug log, what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear it and run a command. We could open this up on another file, but let me show you a better way. A command called tail -f and then debug log, right? And what it does, it actually shows us the last few lines, the latest lines of the in the debug log, and it hangs there so that if any new changes happen, it's going to show up right away, right? So now we have our debug log exactly where we want it. It's waiting for us to make a response, and this is how we set that up. And right here, instead of the echo, we're going to try something else. But for that, we're going to have to write a function. Let's do that. Okay, so right here, right above this hook function, we're going to go ahead and start writing our debug log function. I'm going to start with a if logic. Okay, first I'm using function exists. So basically, this is a good practice to have, like if you want to add stuff to your functions file, it's always recommended that we check if any other functions by that name exist or not. So if it doesn't, then we're going to go ahead and move on to the next step. This is where we're going to write the actual function. Okay, so this is going to be our function, and it is called write to log, right? And this will have a parameter going in. I'm calling it $log because this is where we're going to pass the item we want to see in the debug log, right? So it could be an array, an object, or just simple text, right? So now let's add some logic in there. So if the WP debug is true, and as you know, we set it up right here, WP debug is true, so we're checking for that, because otherwise we're not going to write anything to the log unnecessarily, right? So now let's see how we're going to present our log. So what we're trying to say here is that whatever item the user sends to be visible in the log, we're going to check for whether it's an array or an object, because if they are, a regular echo or a regular error log is not going to be able to present it properly. It's going to error out, right? So in case this is an array or an object, we're going to use print r with a true parameter here. And what true does is, instead of print r printing something, it's going to go ahead and return as a function. And this return will be caught by this function. This is a PHP function, error log. What this does is accepts a log item and writes it to the corresponding log. And since we are sitting inside WordPress and we have enabled the WP debug log, so this function knows where to write it, which is straight to the debug log. So in case of an array or an object, we're going to use print r, and that record will be written to our debug log using this error log function. And next, if it is a regular text, then we'll say else, and that's it. It's a simple error log. The log item, if it's a simple text, is going to be written to the debug log as a simple text. And that finishes our function of writing to the log. And now we're going to save the file, and we're going to go back, and just remember the function name write to log, right? So what we're going to do, instead of this echo, we are going to say, okay, so we're just calling that write to log function. We have a mistake here. Okay. And the title variable and the post ID that's coming in from the hook. So just these two, if they are written into the debug log as soon as we publish a post, we will know that this hook is working, our function is working, and we will learn in the process how to write our own custom information to the log. So let's go check it out after saving it. All right, so we are at the WordPress backend, and we're seeing that we have bunch of posts sitting there in draft mode. So we're going to pick one up, this new Moose list test 1, and we're going to go ahead and do a quick one and quick edit and go ahead and do publish. And before I do, I just wanted to show you, and this is our code, this is what we're trying to print, this is where debug log is set, and we're waiting on our debug log. We're we're doing a tail minus F on it. It's waiting for our new response, right? So, and just remember, this is the last line here on line 5535, whatever. But if our hook works, we're gonna see the post title and the ID. Let's go back and let's update. All right, and let's go check. And there you go. It's the timestamp, and our title is here, post ID is here. For the heck of it, let's do one more. Let's do number 2 here. Quick edit, change it to publish, update, done. Let's go check, and there you go. The second one is also visible. So this way, we not only learn that we can actually custom write our custom information into the debug log, but also this confirms that our hook that we're trying to work on, this guy right here, works perfectly. And this way we can debug a lot of things locally before we publish on the net. This concludes this quick video. If you like this video, please smash the like button, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please smash the like button and the subscribe button. This will help me bring more free contents like this to you every week. Thanks again.